have to prioritize some of these winning matchups in the side lanes to get themselves ahead.
The showdown starts here in the drafting phase, presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. And now for both Keskut and Theo Nile, they have to draft something to try to win this match of the day as they ban out the typical bans we have seen so far in MPL ID Season 14. They take out the Harris, the Zuxin as well, and the High Loss. They don't want to deal with it because it has been such a menace to play against.
Off the bat immediately, seeing the first pick for RRQ. What could it be right here? Gonna be the Roger, keeping things flexible, but now Bigetron has a few ways to answer. The Zask is open if they want to go with that same idea. Can also go for the Valentina actually, making sure that they can go and pick up some of the big ultimates that RRQ loves to use to try and set up for those big moments, those big plays. I wonder if the Edith is in the minds of both these coaches. It is flexible, and you have a good mix of engage and disengage. Gotta be the Ruby though, that Theo Nile will prioritize.
Again, flexibility against flexibility. Roger still could be flexed to the jungle, to the gold. Meanwhile for Ruby, I mean, it is a hero that both Key and Super Luke are apt in terms of usage. So again, this Ruby could be flexed to other lanes. So now for RRQ, do they want to call the bluff?
I don't know, I feel like they should just focus on their own draft, right? Don't really care too much about the Ruby pick. Obviously have that in mind, and they will just go for the setup. Terizla and the Julian. So actually removing the flex potential of the Roger very early on here, giving Bigetron Alpha a way to try to counter both these laners, or both these roles, and they decide to go with a Moskov in the gold lane to try to stop that Roger from fully snowballing.
Macro play potentially coming in from Bigetron here with the Spear of Destruction. And they can have a chance to use the penalty zone against RRQ themselves with the IMU right here. Only 3 picks right here. It just seems like it's a very short range type of composition. And against RRQ's composition right now, with the Terizla and the Julian, there are a lot of ways for the Valentina and Moskov to kind of get caught by some kind of crowd control, to be bursted down immediately. I think some measure of security would be ideal for Bigetron. They ban with the Zask though, so they want to make sure that the mid lane can be punished, can be exploited here.
But at least for RRQ, they have their hands on one of their strongest and comfortable heroes. I mean, Dyron is famous for his Terizla as well, holding the push back in Season 12. That the way he made that hero play, and for Skylar has also been exposed to, playing that Roger as well most of the times. So now for RRQ, with 2 bans left, they really will try to explore the last 2 picks with the Julian already confirming itself in that jungle position.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a Hayabusa and the Alpha ban in the second phase here, but they decide to go for the Tigreal first. Not really convinced that the Ruby will be going to the Roam, and yeah, that's right. I mean, for Bigetron Alpha, now they have a good way to actually flex it. Back in the day, or at least Season 13, when you see the Ruby pick up, you know for sure it's going to be on Key. But now, Luke is in the lineup, and he's a pretty good Ruby player. Last season, it was just flex all around. Malloy or Luke, Malloy or Luke, and both were equally as good on the Ruby.
Yeah. And it's a good combo right here. The Ruby, to be matched up against the Terizla, can both just sustain each other and keep the lane relatively static. And the Ruby has the advantage of being also very mobile with good amounts of crowd control, so you're also quite immune to ganks. And we're talking about the XP domination. If you're trying to exert your presence while still being safe, the Ruby can be a great option. But for Bigetron, banning with the Lo Yi, they're concerned about some macro matching here from RRQ to try and deal with that Moskov. For RRQ, though, what's it gonna be? Do they want to find something with global presence themselves? If that's the case, I guess they're gonna try and limit the engage tools, right? To ensure that when they're setting up for something, they're not roped into a fight that they are not willing to go for. But it's gonna be the Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha ban out, not giving that potential jungle roll, or even that XP, because this Alpha could also be flexed again. Now for Bigetron, they will pick up the Arlet, which again either goes to the XP, either goes to the roam.
Yeah, I guess we'll see about that, right? For Bigetron Alpha, they're still flexing the Ruby and the Arlet here. We have been seeing just way more Arlet XP though. I don't think we've seen a single Arlet roam in Season 14, but for RRQ, I think a good way to end the draft earlier if Bigetron had picked up an Assassin would be some lockdown, some crisp lockdown for Edok. Now that the Assassin has actually been left up in the air for Bigetron, pick up the Arlet. For RRQ, they need a roam, they need a mid laner. If they want mid prio, I guess, you know, something like a Lilia, don't give Valentina a big ult to play with. Because even if he wants to go for Yve, I think it's a risky choice, giving that real-world inflation over and over.
Minotaur and Aurora.
That's a big ult. Two big ults.
Yeah, that's a big ult for the Valentina, rather Moreno to steal. How do RRQ think about this?
Maybe the idea is just overwhelm them completely, right? With a Minion's Fury, Frigid Glacier, and the penalty zone, Moreno can only copy one. So even if you kind of put them against each other, it's kind of equal when it comes down to it, right? But for Bigetron, there's one more pick available right here. They can swing the tides in favor of them. And for RRQ, it's just looking like a big combo play with a couple of big burst damage sources. When it comes down to the pickoff, Idok will not be able to have the same kind of impact. And to make things worse here, the X-Borg getting picked here makes the lane
jungle.
so much
jungle.
more... Oh, it's a jungle X-Borg.
Yeah,
sir.
So again, we were talking about flexibility. It is very, very flex coming in from Bigetron Alpha. They last picked the X-Borg jungle. I mean, sure, it has that clear potential, but they also still needed the damage, so that X-Borg kind of does make sense.
Does make sense, and it allows you to kind of circumvent all of these big engagement tools to just focus on the last insanity to go straight in for that neutral objective. Counter index and lineup rating heads up for RRQ, but in the grand scheme of things, it might not matter as much. The execution here is what's important. Julian against the X-Borg in the jungle. I feel like Julian can clear a lot faster, but after that, what will they do with it? Right? What can they do to be aggressive when they have a Minotaur as their roamer?
Yeah, the counter initiation power is there. But of course, to the land of Dawn, we go, the witness of this showdown, the kingdom against the red robots. Will the robots rage against the rebuild of the kingdom, or will the kingdom once again rejoice? It's RRQ Hoshi against Bigetron Alpha.
Listening to the calls and the drums of war there behind us. The crowd definitely getting pumped up for this one. The Titans in Bigetron Alpha, first place in the regular season, and versus a rebuilding kingdom here in the mid lane. Moreno already forced back very low.
A lot of damage at the disposal of that Aurora. The fact that there's two parts of it, the big burst and the extra damage afterwards. You're seeing them pressuring towards the side of Supercan's purple buff, but he is getting chunked a lot, by the way. No sustain built in by them. Idok steals it away.
The lethal being able to acquired by Edok again, so proactive, displaying and shadowing behind his mid laner. And so far, Key looking for a kill potentially here.
Good stun 2 times there. Vengeance not going to be used up again by Key. Knows to respect it, and Rins actually does lose on that trade.
He loses on the trade, but there is sustain built in. And look at Edok with the Bargain Hunter on the Minotaur. I haven't seen this in a long, long time. But he might be just trying to find that Flaccid Oasis so much earlier so that it can go for short trades like this and still come out on top due to the sustained difference. Overall, you can see Supercan with the... Ooh. Also, Supercan has that Season Hunter. So he'll be farming a lot quicker than usual, but it's still going to be, I believe, outmatched by Sutsujin. Get his play on the top side, though, for the XP grab.
Oh,
wow.
Good steal by Sutsujin. Smooth.
Sutsujin, again, this time around playing for the Kingdom, and has been pretty solid in his performances yesterday. And Man and Skylar going at it. Again, recalls galore. Down bottom, they're just having a good time. Not really stressing about what the other could do, but the turtle spawning means that Bigetron and RRQ might be subject of a very, very good fight down, up top rather. And this time Sutsujin under pressure alongside Edok.
Getting some damage down. Key not level 4 just yet. Rins open the Frog armor. Penalty zone coming in. Rins actually getting it out. Frigid Glacier stunning Super Loop. First blood over. Super gets forced back. That's a knock over to Key, who gets out with the Vengeance. Has the final slash and uses the Vengeance on the orange buff. A quick win early from RRQ.
Great burst damage usage from RRQ, and they're able to actually use all that card control to zone Bigetron away. A good win for them in the early game, but you have to remember, the longer the game goes, the more ways there are for Bigetron to find ways to avoid these straightforward fights. Talent prediction by the new application GoPay though. Oh, Mirko.
Mirko.
Going for a bless.
Mirror bless.
Amen.
Season.
Hey.
Oh man, Mirko.
What?
Damn.
Didn't see anything. What happened?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It's a very clean Land of Dawn with the sweep, but look at that.
He
He now stuck.
No, so not the chain. Actually, now for the Glacier coming down. Minute Fury, Moreno finding 3, and I'm offended to bring them into a big blast. And now a stun. Super Ken is massive in the early game. Triple kill from Bigetron Alpha, a response.
Dang, what a combo that was with the sweep into the massive AoE, man. Last Insanity from Super Ken definitely made that a bit more difficult. Skylar, though, getting jumped on.
Whoa, whoa.
No follow-up. Skylar almost lost his life, but too far to follow up the final slash, so they're looking for a dive!
Stun down on the Skylar now, the Vengeance as well. Minute Fury as the Lycan Pounce comes down. Severe destruction into the back line now as the last Insanity comes down. Skylar, that's the SOD to the back, and Mon finds the kill. And it's another dive over to Edok, who is able to survive still. Could purify out from Iman. But look at Dyron, keeping busy up top, getting the entire shield.
Wow. We talk about how impactful this EXP lane can be, and Dyron is definitely doing well. The mid trio, though, often play from Moreno. I feel like definitely Bigetron are the ones in control. The RRQ can still clear a lot faster, but look at this.
Luke doesn't care.
Wow.
He doesn't care. He's up there in his element, and pulled out towards Rinse. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Super Luke, though, has been very active, seeking out plays, and this is very characteristic of his Ruby. Doesn't really stay in lane, and is so close to the proximity of his teammates, actively seeking for a play and an engage. So this could be something that RRQ has to watch over.
Oh, Edok might give over the Minion Fury again. Moreno is definitely looking for something. Gets the Frigid Glacier, more of a zoning tool. You can see that Bigetron are doing the vision game a lot better than RRQ, I must say. Edok, though, already with a photo, very early on. That's a Bargain Hunter effect. Can they still go for a big fight, though? Because Bigetron have more ways of just staying safe, of being invulnerable.
And look at Moskov. Look at the way that they're actually playing around the Moskov there, losing out the turret, but giving it over to Iman on the weak side, and he has ways to rotate. So Skylar up top, and Iman's already aiming down probably with the Spear of Destruction.
Yeah. Spear of Destruction could be a tool to make this a 4v5. Ooh. And this time around, penalty zone.
Great time offended into the final slash. The combo, Sutsujin finds the neutral objective. Now Minute Fury knocks them off, but Super King gets rid of Tyrant. Now it's Luke in the midst of it all, taken down, traded over.
Oh, Edok.
He wants to go for more Spear of Destruction over to Edok. Skylar not able to reach out enough damage. A winning trade for Bigetron Alpha in kills, but remember, RRQ did get the turtle.
It was okay, so it was a 1-for-1, and then Edok falls as well there. Unfortunately, Moreno, though, getting chased down by Skylar.
He walks up, does damage now. Final slash on the 2. Skylar still finding the shot over Key Vengeance, and Skylar doesn't even need to go for the Lycan Pounce. Rins executes Key, but Iman gets the turret.
Look at Dyron, though, walking towards Moreno. Probably waiting for an opportunity, but Iman is just playing it so well. The distance management allows him to just move forward and backwards so much better. Looking at the items right here, Windtalker finished for Skylar, so good amounts of DPS. Dyron with the War Hammer. Oh, War Axe, he's stunned.
Spear of Misery connecting, forcing the DPZ out. That's the Faraga armor for Super Ken, and Mon still going forward. Throws the Spear of Misery to say, hey, get back, this is my turret.
Get back. You're shoving away the players of RRQ back to their base. And for Bigetron Alpha, they had like, what, 4 tough boots just to try to tone down the magic presence from RRQ. You know, the Julian and the Aurora does kind of deal so much burst damage for RRQ. This is not going to be the end of the world because they have that scaling power towards the late game. For Bigetron Alpha, the fact that they have 4 kills in Super Ken means that they have the damage needed to fight through the defenses and the front line of RRQ. Can still play!
Oh, good freeze by Riz. Oh! Not connecting. Edok forced back though. Tyrant trying to go for that play. Super Ken with I'm offended, finding Rins now with a stun as well. Super Ken burning him down, trying to get the passive out. Rins still able to ice skate his way back to safety. Moreno still trying to hover. Super Luke there with the Geek Fam emote. Okay.
Having fun. He's having total fun. Oh, Iman, 1v1.
Skylar with the Abyss Walker. Skylar solo kill. Where have we seen this before? And I'm offended. Over to Dyron now with the Vengeance resets. Moreno pushing me out to the chain. Great for the Glacier. Set him up again. It's a trade. Iman up top for Dyron in the mid lane. Essentially against the chain again, but the immobilization will not be able to fully take Super Luke down. And it's a turtle over Bigetron Alpha. Skylar to be caught for a bit. Key gonna go for the Vengeance now. Caught in the half chain, knocked up. Last Insanity to the back line right now. Sutsujin taking a whole lot of damage. And Minute Fury actually able to find a few of the Bigetron members. The SOD! Super Luke! But I'm offended now. Iman joining the fray. Sutsujin in the midst of it all trying to deal damage with the spears. does more in the long run. Bigetron somehow getting the winning trade off of that crazy amount of fights going on the map.
It's a synergy from Bigetron. Whenever they're doing something, everyone seems to be on the same page. You really feel like there's a bunch of non-verbal communication happening for Bigetron when they're able to get those combos in the nick of time with near to no setup. When it comes to individual plays, you see RRQ prevailing on occasion, but in these small skirmishes with 3 members, with 4 members,
Whoa.
Ooh, Key making a play once more for Rins.
Trying to bait on some of the abilities. Last insanity. Over to Rins. He still has the passive. That's the blow up. The Frigid Glacier dodged away from Moreno. Has the Frigid Glacier. Knocks it down. Rins. How do you... I mean, it's frozen and then burnt down. That's the fire. And ice.
Oof. Synergy there. Fire and ice. One melts, one freezes, but pull?
I'm offended. Final slash. A big spear to the face. Eat up now next to the chopping block. Last insanity again. Dyron forced to jump in. Blown up by Super Ken.
The red robots rage against the kingdom. This is total massacre. Left, right, center, they win the fights. RRQ left without a response.
Especially in the team fights, man. Bigetron has full control right here. It's only a 2.7k gold lead at this point, but Bigetron are aiming to make it even further. They finally take down the mid turret and they're starting to deny a lot of these buffs from the side of RRQ. Sutsujin now definitely feeling the pressure. He's still a level ahead from Super Ken, but his impact in the game is a lot different. Now Skylar and Eman, you can see the dueling potential here from Eman still. 4-1. Now setting up for the macro play with the Spear of Destruction as well.
They have been dogfighting, and Eman already in his element. The power spike acquired, and this Moskov could be the next big thing for Bigetron. They set up a concealed plate. Iron has to be prepared.
They're not scared of walking up. They don't know where Sutsujin is though. Darren's walking up again. Now they know where Sutsujin is. They might go for the victory battle. The Manos Ash connects as well. Eat up with an Fury. Last insanity to get out. And Luke. You gotta keep on looking at this guy because he was able to get so much space over Moreno. Tries to go for the Glacier. Finds a 3-man Terrifier with a flicker. No follow-up just yet. And Mon's still chunking down in the bottom lane. Bigetron finding an all-out win in that skirmish and trade.
That was a disgusting play by Luke, man, to just deny the retribution by pulling him away. Moreno now feeling it, making the moves around the map. Skylar wants to try and do something, but Dyron's slow.
I'm offended over to Dyron, and he can't even use the penalty zone.
Wow. Unstoppable onslaught coming in from Bigetron Alpha. And Eman has been able to zone and stop Skylar, shooing him away from the team fight because he has to occupy that space in the side lane. Because Eman has been always shoving the wave and he can always join the fray. With the Spear of Destruction, the macro play is there for him. He has the Rose Gold as well to give him that extra protection. So RRQ, their kingdom, under construction this time around in shambles in the hands of Bigetron Alpha.
And Luke can still go for a pick-off play right there. You're seeing them try to use the scouting, the vision from the base, and it's just not allowed. They have a lot of high ground and they still have a Minotaur, but look at that, instantly last insanity.
Wow, what an isolation there, well planned. Ken walks up so that the final slash can isolate Dyron. Now Frigid Glacier that finds 2, but Super Ken still has immortality. That's 4 HP bars for him. Luke in the bottom lane just spamming the getting the passive over Key. Doesn't want to go for final slash just yet. Jumps in with vengeance, flickers out to safety, still keeping his immortality intact.
The risky plays coming in from Rins, walking up with low HP like that. Fortunately, he was able to survive. 2 base towers super low for the side of RRQ, but they're able to defend for now. As you can see, they're just trying to clear the waves, trying to get some control back. But Bigetron are just waving it at their faces, man. They know they have full control right now.
They're waving a flag saying, come and get us. I mean, for Super Ken being 6-0, Eman as well, 5-1. They're just having fun. Kinda littering.
Together with Luke this time.
In front of the kingdom, yeah. Together with Luke this time around, RRQ. They need a clap back. This could be the start of something.
2-man, I'm a predator, stolen Frigid Glacier! Moreno! What an instant response! That looked like a mistake from them overstaying, but they turn it around. And now he's recalling in the base.
Classic Moreno, man. RRQ committing onto Super Luke. the EXP lane Ruby, who has the Queen's Wings, who has the Athenas, not the wisest of ideas, and you can see why Bigetron were using it as bait. 2 turrets will definitely fall right here, but can Bigetron find more?
Final slash over to Jin. He has the enhanced sword, but Super Kill is going with last mentality.
Come on!
With a fear of destruction in the back line, the Frigid Glacier, it melts you down, but Bigetron's heat continues. Minas Fury knocking him up, but now with the airtime, they're actually going to be the ones to turn it around once again. 5 members strong, it's just Skylar. It's deja vu to last season, the Crown Prince left alone, and then he wipes them out. Bigetron Alpha starts it strong in game 1.
The machines rage against the rebuild of the kingdom yet to reply with their battle cry, 1-all. For Bigetron Alpha, RRQ, they were just outclassed. Bigetron Alpha constantly just bringing the fight towards their faces. RRQ yet to rebuild fully.
Bigetron, man, what an insane performance. All that momentum behind RRQ, and it doesn't matter, man. The robots stay there unfazed, undaunted by the task, and just go at it. It all started really, really well. It was looking kind of